Hello everyone, welcome back to Intellify. My name is Ajitesh Chandra and today I will be speaking to you about Euclid's definition. This concept has been taken from chapter 5 of your class 9 maths NCERT. So let's get into it. Euclid's definition. So before around 300 BCE, which would be before Common Era, the concept of geometry was very abstract. This meant that there were no formal definitions in geometry and different mathematicians had their own set of definitions. This was a very big problem because now the mathematicians could not effectively communicate with each other, collaborate with each other, and come up with better ideas of geometry. So, in around 300 BCE, mathematician Euclid wrote a book called Book 1 of Elements and he gave us 23 definitions. Today we will have a look at 7 of them. All 7 of these definitions are mainly concerned with 3 ideas. That is the idea of a point, the idea of a line, and the idea of a surface. So let's have a look at what a point is. So Euclid said that a point is that which has no part. So what this means is that a point is a physical entity which has no dimension. It has no length and it has no breadth. So if you take this red dot over here, let's treat this as a point. So if this was a point, the length of this red dot in this direction would be 0 and the length of this red dot in this direction would also be 0. So let's talk about the idea of a line. So before we talk about what Euclid has told us about line, let's talk about what a line fundamentally is. So in very simple language, a line is nothing but a collection of points. If we take many points and keep them very close to one another, we will form a line. So we can say that a line is simply a collection of points in which one point is kept very close to each other. So we can see that between any 2 points, there is always going to be some distance, that is length. But since a line is simply a collection of points, it will not have any breadth because as we have seen before, a point has no breadth. So we can say that a line is a breadthless length. We can examine this even closely in this example. Between these 2 dots, there is going to be some distance, let's say with x centimeter. So a line will always have a length. However, its breadth will always be 0, as we can see in this figure. So since we know that a line is simply a collection of points, we know that at the absolute beginning of a line and the absolute end of a line, there are going to be 2 points, like we have seen here in green color. So we can say that ends of a line are points. Now let's move on to the third and the most important definition which Euclid has given us concerning with the idea of a line. A straight line is a line which lies evenly with the points on itself. What this means is that, for example, in the yellow line, it is a straight line because it is passing evenly with all the purple dots which are on the line. If it was passing through this dot, this dot, this dot, or this dot, it will no longer be called a straight line. Now let's talk about the idea of surface. So earlier we have seen that a point has no length and breadth. A line has a length but no breadth. Now Euclid said that a surface is that which has length and breadth only. So we can understand this by fundamentally understanding the concept of a surface just as we did in line. So just like a line was simply a collection of points, a surface is simply a collection of lines kept very close to each other. For example, on this tabletop, you can see that this surface is comprised of many green lines which are kept very close to one another. So since a line has a length, we can say that yes, a surface also has a length. Now, but what about breadth? So we have seen that these lines, when kept very close to each other, will have some distance between them. This distance will be the physical quantity which we call breadth. In this example, we can see that the blue line represents the length of the surface and the red line represents the breadth of the surface, which would usually be the sum of the distances between all the green lines. So let's talk about the idea that the edges of a surface are lines. So we have seen that a surface is simply a collection of lines, which means that at the absolute beginning of a surface there is going to be a line, and also at the absolute end of a surface there is also going to be a line. This can be further seen in another example in the same diagram. Let's take a look at this wide surface. We can see that all the edges are lines. This edge is a line, this edge is a line, this edge is a line, and this edge is also a line. Now it is even more interesting to remember that yes, this is a line and this is a line. So the end point of this line and this line will be a point. The end point of this line and this line will be a point, and the end of this line will also be a point. So you can see how we have come a full circle now. So now let's talk about the last concept when we are talking about surface. A plane surface is a surface which lies evenly with the straight line on itself. So we can say that if there are lines on a surface, the surface will lie evenly on all the lines. It will not pass above them, not below them, or intersect them. A plane surface simply will be the surface which lies evenly on the straight line on itself. There will be no curves or anything like that. An example of this is the table which you are sitting on, that is a plane surface. But a bowl from which you would eat will not be a plane surface because it will be curvy. Now let's talk about the practical relevance of Euclid's definition. So these definitions were very important because they gave us the foundation of geometry as we know it today. Without Euclid's definition, everything would be in a complete state of chaos because everybody would have their own unique definition and they will often be contradictory. So because of this very reason, we can say that Euclid's definition was a stepping stone of the excellent geometry as we know it today. Even the most complex ideas and questions of geometry could not be solved without Euclid's definitions. And the third point is that it has removed any uncertainty which there could have been. Now everybody knows the definition of a point and nobody can question the definition of the point. So this is the practical relevance of Euclid's definition. Now let's think about another concept. What would happen if there were no rules and everybody had their own rules? Let's say one man says that from tomorrow it is illegal for children to drive cars. But another man says, no, it is legal. Now these two laws are absolutely opposite to each other. And the policeman will be so confused seeing a child driving a car because he will not know whether it is allowed or not. So similarly, this is what was happening in geometry. People had completely opposite definitions of many concepts. And thanks to Euclid, we were able to remove all this uncertainty. I hope you enjoyed this session and were able to understand the concepts with clarity. Thank you.